Guten Tag, mein Freund. Now, this video is not me entirely speaking with a German accent, but this is a celebration. This is the first video I've done on a German watch. And today's video, you'll find out more about the brand. Zeppelin is part of a umbrella company called Point Tech, and it is very good. And the first minute of this video after this silly intro is going to be me just discussing or presenting the information from their website all about Point Tech and their micro brands that they sell. Enjoy the video, but there's lots of information and good fun. Guten Tag. So, my friends, that Zeppelin Hindenburg Automatic LZ129 for £295 recommended retail. You can get it elsewhere for less. Do just shop around, guys. I got this from TK Maxx, but it's a great watch for the money, I must say. Even if you pay full retail, bear in mind it's a made in Germany watch. I know it's not all, every tiny component in this is made in Germany. We know it's likely most of it was assembled in Germany. It's the same Swiss-made loophole that is used. So, but we all know that. It's what you expect for £295, to be honest. Anyway, what you do get though is something it's just a pretty watch. I got this because it looks gorgeous. I love a vintage looking watch, and I'm thinking, well, it's got a Miyota 9000 series in it as well, which adds to the ability to make it thin. This is only 10mm thick. So you've got the 9000, the 9015 high beat Swiss in there. Swiss, I keep saying that. Japanese movement. And I'll show you after this bit how accurate the mod in this watch is and how healthy it is. And I'm getting a sense already that they are very robust, actually, reliable. And timekeeping is consistent with all the 9000 series movements I've tested. So hold fire, that will become apparent soon. You'll see how good it is in here. You get the facts and the figures as well about that movement. So the watch itself, I've already discussed the brand. It's one of a few brands owned by the Point Tech family-owned company in Germany. So, like I said, made in Germany, I should say, assembled in Germany. And what do you get for your money, really? Well, like I've said, you get the high beat movement, you get domed acrylic. Almost a third of it is taken up by that acrylic. But don't worry about too much about scratches, things like that. It's a dressier watch. You're going to get a few little marks. You can polish them out with Polywatch. Check it out if you've never seen it before. It's really good stuff for buffing out little scratches in plastic, which effectively what this is made of. That is plastic. But vintage watches, old watches of old, were made with that because it's got flexibility to it. It cracks before it will shatter. Downside, yes, it does scratch easily. But I'm not too bothered about that, actually. I think it adds to the charm and character, makes it look like an older watch. But you can refresh it like you can with all the polish surfaces. You can polish that up if you want to. So you can keep this watch looking good for longer with a little bit of TLC. So I love this domed dial. You get a domed sunburst effect dial with applied rose gold finish indices all the way around there. And then you've got matte black hands. Look at the lovely design of those hands. Really long. They're all the right lengths. And it makes it really legible. Very crisply made. You're going to see macros popping up here and there. Just to show you close-ups. Just how well applied and how finished this watch is for the money. And it's decent. Lovely little lugs when they just conform down nicely. It's not very long. Let's see what the lug to lug is. So what you've got here, it's only 43 lug to lug. So it's a very nice compact shape. I mean, the actual case size is just under 40, which is great for a dressier watch. Like I said, 10mm thick. Nice crown there. 5.5, which is, it's not bad, it's in proportion, but it sticks out enough. You get a good grip on there. It's just a push-pull crown, 30-meter water resist. Like I said, it's a dressier watch. You're not going to have a screw down ready for this. And it's a pilot style watch as well, I'd say. You're not really going to be worrying too much about screw down crowns and things like that on a watch like this. 20mm lug width. And yeah, look at that dial. It's massive. Let's see how big this dial is. It reaches right out the size of the watch. It's almost the full size of the watch. It's about 36mm. So it's a really big, clear, easy to read watch, but it's not a big watch. Like I said, it's just under 40, which 40 traditionally is a nice sweet spot for many people. You'll see on my wrist shots later, I have a 7-inch wrist, when you see the outdoor shots, how well it looks on me. And how much does it weigh? Guipas, you must assist. Look at that, 52 grams for an automatic watch. That is light. It does disappear on the wrist, I must say. This is the box you get. Nice fabric box, Zeppelin. And this is the standard strap, which I changed out because I don't like the feel of it, but it's got that lovely Gothic text of fine calf skin, handmade in Germany, on the strap. That is nice, but I don't like the strap. It feels very stiff and a bit, even though it's calf skin, it doesn't feel that nice quality. Just shows how it can vary. Anyway, so I think I've covered the general stats and specs for you. So let's check out how good the movement is and how healthy it is in this watch itself. So what's my overall thoughts and opinions on this piece? Well, aside from it being named after an airship disaster from a ship that in the early 1900s was used as a bomber, and I said that strangely, bomber, causing much horror, death and despair. It's just unusual to name a watch after an airship that was a disaster in the end. The Hindenburg LZ-129 did explode, catch fire. There were many deaths, very, very tragic. And the history of the Zeppelin, yes, it may have started being as an elite airship that was, I can imagine would have been unbelievably exciting to go and fly in one of those. I would love to have gone in one. But tragic end, I'd say. It was used for terrible things, and then the Hindenburg disaster in 1937 was a terrible disaster. So it's a weird name, but I don't know, that's just me. I'm just a bit confused by it. But the actual made in Germany thing, I accept. It's not actually everything in it's German, and obviously the movement isn't, but it's a great movement. You know, I'm paying this kind of money, less than £300. It's nice to still have a high beat movement in there. And fan or not of these Miyotas, they are reliable and they keep great time. As you saw in this one, this one's keeping extremely good time and it's very healthy. And I just love the design. I really do. I mean, it's obviously very subjective, sorry. Objectively, it's a well-made watch from initial impressions, but subjectively, I just love personally this kind of look. You know, you've got domes dial, you've got domed acrylic, you've got lovely, very old-fashioned looking numerals all the way around there. You've got gorgeous hands that is just really nicely finished, and it's interesting. You know, you've got your signed crown. It's fun. It's a good fun watch, and I'd say it's quirky, definitely. I mean, it's a bit like me. I'm quirky, and that's probably why I like this watch. And I'm wondering what you guys think, because I think aesthetically it is a pretty watch, and I think that dot maybe at the date wheel is a bit unusual, but due to the nature of the movement that's in this piece, the date wheel has to be there. So they were thinking, oh, we've got this void here. What do we do? What do we do? Let's stick a blob there. So I think that's why, design-wise, they've stuck that dot there, because as in the date wheel's so far over there. But you can't do anything about that when you're using this movement. It's just the nature of what you have to do. Is, you know, such a big dial as well, and you think, well, if I had a smaller dial, it would have changed the layout. But then I like this dial. I think they've just about got away with it. Maybe that dot should have been rose gold as well, other than silver. You know, the little details like that I think could have been worked on. But I do like all the applied aspects. That's really smart. Just plays with the lights so well. I think they've done a great job, to be honest with you. I think it's good fun. It's a good looker. Don't pay full retail for these. I don't think you need to. I mean, I got this in TK Maxx, so you can look around. Do shop around, guys. This is a great watch. And they do different versions. You can get them with quartz. They've got loads of different Zeppelin watches. This is the one I went for personally. But as the first German-made watch for this kind of price point, I think it's really well made and put together. And I do enjoy having a really good high beat movement in there for this price point. Adds to the classiness of it. But what do you think, guys? Is it sehr gut or is it scheiße? Do let me know in the comments section. If you've enjoyed this video and you think I'm an absolute idiot, definitely hit that like button or the sehr gut button. And if you haven't subscribed already, you want to see more of my content, smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen!